going on? Y'all already know what time it is. It's Hefe Jones, man. I'm back here with Ohno again, man. And this hip hop standards, dog.
Yes, sir.
Today we're gonna touch on a hot topic. It's gonna be the Kanye episode. Everybody know that Kanye just dropped his album, Jesus is King. We know Kanye has had some highs, had some lows. He recently made some comments about hip hop in a couple of interviews. We went through an interview, and we're gonna just talk about Kanye and see where he really stands and how people feel about him.
For those who don't know, I fucks with him that's probably my favorite artist in hip hop, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like that level type fucks with him. So it's kind of weird to see like everybody has a different opinion on him. Some people fuck with him heavy, others don't fuck with him heavy. But it's kind of it's there's no gray area really with him. So where do you feel like he is right now? So as far as where it concerns with Mr. West, it's like it just really seems like people already are not messing with him. You know what I'm saying? They're not checking for him. They're probably bashing him online. You know what I'm saying he's in that sunken place. You know what I'm saying?
Sunken place.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's been saying since that era. But
what are your favorite Kanye moments?
Oh man, favorites.
Just like an album or a song or anything, a moment, whether it's something he did, the message he was putting out, whatever.
I think my favorite Kanye moment was an era between 808s and Heartbreak and Watch Your Throne.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He was just, ultra, just egotistical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was really, proud of his shit. And things that he had accomplished at that moment. And it was good to see him talking his shit with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? They were on the same level going bar for bar. So it was a great time, shoot, to be alive.
Yeah. My favorite Kanye moments would be before that, like the first album, from Through the Wire to the first album to the second album.
Yeah.
I feel like he was preaching a lot of, power to the people. He was uplifting to the people. He was trying to show people how to come up, how to make a way. He was talking about how he was doubted and how he persevered and got through it. And he was it seemed like he wanted the people to do the same. I feel like those are like his best years, and that like those are the stamps that people can't ever take away from him. I feel like that whole just being yourself in this culture. I like that how you put that on, just like different type of fashion things,
Yeah.
He made that cool to just kind of more so be yourself and not just have to be one way.
Yeah, definitely.
Another also Kanye moment I like when he used to just drop music, how he dropped it, like the Good Fridays, and all of that stuff. And I like that when he did start the Good Music label, it was rolling and they had all type of mixes and all type of different
Sean,
people.
Chance
Most definitely got on some songs and everybody got on songs. Like I love that. That was great, and that's definitely a highlight from Kanye that I can think of.
Yeah. I feel like his last album was cool.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like his last album was great. Probably one of the
Which one was that?
album of the year, the Ye.
Oh yeah.
And he also came out with Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah, Kids See Ghosts.
You know what I'm saying? With Kid Cudi. So I mean, the music has not been affected, but I think his personal standing and some things he's been going through. He talks about him in the interviews that might have had his perception in the media, quote unquote, skewed. He probably people misinterpret everything he does, essentially. Yeah. What about the Lowlats?
All right, some low times from Kanye West. We definitely got to talk about the Taylor Swift incident when he got on stage. That was definitely a no-go. I mean, I understand you got your opinion, but you got to just kind of, let it fly. I mean, we could do our own thing and get our own awards. That's something that I would like to go to toward and get our own awards that mean just as much. So, if that's what they want to do, you gotta let that be done. You know what I mean? But
that was low key one of my favorite moments. But I won't go say it. But that was one of my favorites.
Dang. So what you got for a low moment?
To go for Beyonce. But the reception of him with the whole string of events from the slavery was a choice to the MAGA hat and just kind of how he got slandered and killed. You know what I'm saying, for that moments and for those mistakes of just being too honest, too raw, and not knowing what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got knocked for it heavily.
For real.
And it kind of sucked to see Because he's human. We all human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We mess up. We say some stuff, and I've been in predicaments like that where I've said or overspoke. You know what I'm saying? On something I shouldn't have. So, it's just tough to see, but that's probably the lowest, I think. And then, like you said, the reception from the Taylor Swift thing too.
Yeah. The Jay-Z rant and all that
yes,
rant,
and
the
his
Kid
relationship
Cudi
with
rant,
Jay-Z. Yeah,
the
man.
Kid Cudi rants and stuff on his concerts.
His
And
relationship with Jay-Z.
it just was all bad. Like, I don't like that. That was all bad. Like, you know, it just
His
seemed like all
relationship with
ego and
Jay-Z,
all
yeah,
like
so-
frustration.
Yeah. Sacramento.
Even
got
like
witnessed
the Amber
that,
Rose stuff. I don't even like that. You know.
Amber Rose is Amber Rose, you know what I'm saying? People have been down that that path. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, but I feel
it's
it,
just
but,
a
you know.
little, but
Alright.
the Jay-Z relationship, dog, that's tough, man. Cause I feel like we're missing out on music because of that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That was magical. That was a great run.
That was definitely a great run.
Blueprint.
He feels.
I feel like right now his status is canceled.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, he don't care about that.
Yeah.
He says that in plenty of interviews. That's what people don't realize too.
Okay. I just feel like he's been lost. You know what I mean? It's just he been up, high, low. He talking about this. He talking about that. He changing this, changing that. He's always blowing up. Especially with the Donald Trump stuff. And a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say about that and feel a way about that. Because hip-hop definitely doesn't stand for Donald Trump, you know.
No, well,
And he's supposed to be one of the voices of hip-hop. You got the Yeezy brand going. That was a positive thing that people liked.
that man made $1 billion with that.
Yeah,
shit.
that was a very big brand. The most Googled, I think he said.
Man, and he didn't have an Instagram, right?
No, he said he took that brand, sky high, higher than a lot of athletes have taken a lot of other brands. And
Yeah.
what he say?
I
He
mean,
has
he's
numbers
getting-
to prove it. doesn't he?
Exactly, but see, he's getting athlete numbers, and he's a rapper. Like
Yeah.
he's really pulling in that much money with his Yeezy brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking on Yeezy Supply, at some of the prices on certain things. They are kind of high. I mean, it does kind of miss the mark as far as pricing, but that's what he explained. You know what I'm saying? The tax benefits or the tax cost to
Okay.
him. You know what I'm saying? So he has to price it a certain way to actually see the income.
Okay.
And, he did that. He got $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? I got a pair of Yeezys.
He got a pair of
You know what I'm
Yeezys.
saying? I have a pair. Go
He
get
do
you
like
one.
them
You know what I'm
Yeezys.
saying? So, he's out here. He's out here doing $1 billion numbers. So,
I mean, he definitely had a lot of hype when he was with Nike. Those Yeezy shoes are one of the most bought shoes,
Yeah.
or like the highest paid for on one of them lists. Like even if you find them now, they're gonna be crazy amounts of money, especially if they fresh, man. Trust
and the
me,
Louis.
I'm a sneakerhead. It's crazy. He also has some Louis. That was tight.
He's
So
one.
his impact is crazy, whether it's positive or negative. Is this a ploy? Is this something that he's doing on purpose? Does he want people to talk about it because he is getting these numbers?
I mean, shoot, he's definitely. I think that's just a part of his success. I think it's a good shoe. It's
Yeah.
comfortable. I mean, nobody's designing it that way, and that design has spurred a lot of other clones or a lot of other duplicates. In other different ways. So, I mean, he's legit. It seems legit. The Adidas work seems legit. I can't really speak for everything else as far as his faith, but everything business wise, Yeezy's a force to be reckoned with for real. You make more money than Jay-Z in hip hop, then that's a pretty good year.
That is crazy. That is hip hop standard. In the interview, the most recent interview he did with Big Boy, after this album just dropped, Jesus is King, he talks about how the culture was never follow rules. He said they was like throw Gucci on this, Louis
Right,
on that.
exactly.
We never really wanted to conform.
He never followed rules.
He
yeah.
said he also said the culture was also built off of glorifying stuff that our culture doesn't produce,
He brought
that our
up a-
culture
yeah.
doesn't own.
Yeah.
So those are some valid points that he said about the culture. So in those parts of cancel the culture, I definitely understand him when it comes to that. But is he taking responsibility for pushing that narrative to the people? Because when Watch the Throne came out, before all that other stuff, he was, conscious and all that. Around that Watch the Throne time was when I fell off because they cut up a Maybach for the video and they
Right,
were
did
just
all
talking
that.
about I got this money and you don't.
Mhm.
So
They talk about he was the same guy who said George Bush doesn't care about black people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even now he's still that same person. He's still talking out He's still, saying whatever he says. He's still, his first hit single, quote unquote, was Jesus Walks. Now he got a Jesus album. So, I mean, it's, he's been that same person, but it's just people who change on him at every single turn. Like, they don't agree with something, they can't take it for what it is and move on. They just really have to bash him and cancel.
Okay.
Cancel,
So that, but he also talks about that they talking about getting a foreign girl. What do you say?
Right.
Driving a foreign, fucking somebody else, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But
I feel like his growth came from noticing that. You know what I'm saying? And now trying to kick what he's kicking. Because even still now, people are not receptive to, what's coming. And that's the Jesus King. And, he's the gospel album and the Sunday service and all that stuff that he's been doing. People are, really making it seem like he's pandering. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Like, and kind of playing that card. So, I mean, honestly and truly, it just really just depends on, how you feel. If you really feel like, wholehearted about, where he has been and the growth that he might be showing, then you might not see it that way. But if you do, I feel like basically he can't atone for that. You know what I'm saying? Even if he was on that shit in the past, you know what I'm saying? But he's way over there with that shit. I haven't caught up. But right now, I mean, yeah, people in the culture are looking at him sideways. You know what I'm saying? If at all.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a level that he's gotten to where now he thinks his answers through more, and it's less egotistical. And it's more thought out. I think you kind of mentioned that too.
I noticed that he in this recent interview with Big Boy, he tends to stop himself and think a little bit, because when he starts a topic, it sounds like he's thinking about it and he's gonna give you an answer, but then somewhere he gets stuck, and I see that sometimes it seems like he's talking about himself, but he's also giving an answer. But the question that he's posing to giving the answer is more so something about himself. And it seems like he hiccups in those moments. And then after that, you get the macho, well, I did this and I'm grandpa now. You know what I mean? All of that type stuff. So it seems like he is slowing down and trying to think better. And I am happy that he is trying to, get into a better, focus. But I feel like, okay, Kanye West, if you got all this going on mentally, then you have to be able to understand that whatever you're doing is not coming across the way you want it to. So in that, you have to understand that you might need to do more work and break it down. Now, it seems like he says that he's been going through a lot. Like, he compares it to Kobe Bryant and being in the sport and ligaments and stuff. So, okay, I understand that there's going to be stress on your brain. He said he's playing at that sport. I definitely understand that. But understand, to know that you're going through that, understand that you might not be coming off the way that you think you are, because you are working yourself too hard. Just like Kobe might not think he's limping because he just, whatever. I feel you. So peep game. You gotta understand what's going on. It seems like you're still scattered. Yeah, if you would take time to gather what thoughts, if you have all of these thoughts, and you say you think faster and all that, so gather the thoughts about what exactly you're talking about. Gather all of those thoughts and map them out so that you can get across to the people what you're trying to say.
What you mentioned was the insecurity about him. Because he wants to be braggadocious, but he also wants to keep that humility too. And it's some people.
But he's telling the people to wake up. So if he's telling people to wake up, he has to understand that he has to wake up.
He's been asleep too. He's been asleep too.
But he did call himself out on a lot of times.
Right. He's been asleep too.
He did. He was admitting stuff. He said he was asleep when he was making the certain songs and making music. He said he thought Life of Pablo was going to be a gospel album, but it's a naked lady on there and all type of stuff. So, I mean, he called himself out, but still, if you're in a process and you get in interviews, maybe don't just do interviews where you just have to answer certain questions that they ask you. Maybe have an interview for one certain topic and stick to it so that, because we want to understand what you're saying, but there's clearly a disconnect.
But there's somebody behind the camera. who was telling him like,
Nah, there are some people because he gets
don't say
lost.
that, don't say that.
He
There's
gets
gotta
lost.
be somebody back there.
He talked about the new iPhone. And you know, he has that
Right.
deal with Apple Music, doesn't he? Didn't he with Apple Music? Or
I
something?
think I'm not sure about that Apple Music deal.
I know he was talking about doing a plane with Apple and that other with Trump, and I remember that. So, but he just said it takes too long to take a picture with the new Apple phone. But why you saying that if you're working with them, he still gets. So you know, it just seems like he still just goes off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
What he said about the hurricane houses, the hurricane-proof houses.
Yep, the
He's working
hurricane-proof houses.
with Rick Fox or something like that.
He was out there.
That can help Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, stuff like that.
They said that. I mean, he says that he has ideas that can help people, and you know, he sometimes obviously people don't really fuck with him, so it's kind of. I'm sure it probably has to be frustrating when you've been received a certain way, but you got ideas that can help. Yeah. You know, but it seems to be business-wise and you know, with his initiative for people, it seems to be, you know, coming in the right direction at least. He's done a few initiatives.
Yeah. Okay, so he does.
Respectively, you know.
He does some positive things. It does seem like he looks out for the people somewhat, you know. So we just really trying to see what's going on with the things we don't like opposed to the things we do like, you know. So
right, I think he's done some things in
what's
Chicago
going on
too.
with he done some things in Chicago for sure. Okay, well that's some positive stuff we can say about Kanye.
But, I feel like, you know, again, he is growing. He's confident in his growth. It looks, I've questioned like, is this, you know, real? Is this authentic? And just because it's just, you know, it's so different. It's such a polar opposite of kind of where he's been as an artist, and so it kind of came fast. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really much of a lead up to where he is right now, and I guess that's part of having like millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? You can change your life at a moment's notice, and now you're extra religious, and you know what I'm saying? You've done a lot of extra homework. So, I mean, it was really fast, but kind of slowed it down in the interview. I think he explained it more, but I felt like the music could have been that explanation. Because the music didn't really do anything for me. It kind of made me question what was going on, more so than answer things like he did in the interview.
Okay. So what are you questioning?
I mean, the only question I really have is where are we at now? He said that he didn't want to do any old songs like from his catalog, but he'll do the beats, whatever, do different renditions. So, you know, as a fan, it was like, okay, well, your favorite artist doesn't really stand by their catalog now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn. You know, what were all those years about? Like, now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got those songs, but you're not going to perform the songs. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to go gospel yet, just personally as a fan. So, you know, it's kind of figuring out where we are right now. You're going to continue in this. How long will it last? Is there going to be a moment where he switches it back, you know what I'm saying, and kind of dabble in both lanes? You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, where are we taking this now? Because I need to step on.
I personally feel like I want to see if he stays on this course, if he is going to do it, because he did say it on another, was he on Big Boy when he said that in 10 years I want to do only church music for the church. So I feel like he definitely, you know, might be on that path, and we just got to see what's going on, you know. Yeah. Kanye, you know, so let's see, you know, what's next for him, you know, so... All right.
He talks about the Christian scorecard, and that's another thing too from the interview. The Christian scorecard, where he would stop himself. Oh, my Christian scorecard just went down because I cursed. I didn't like that. I just was like, you know, chill, bro. Like, why are you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's annoying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's being annoying.
I feel you, but, that is.
Like, why?
He did say it like 3 different times.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like 3 times. My Christian scorecard for lewd language. Like, chill out, bro.
So what else from the interview? I like the part about the interview that he said we can do it. He was talking to the people at MITs and big
inspiring.
schools.
I mean, he's always been an inspiration, bro.
That they wanna. He said that they wanna put you in a box and make you work this job. And I like the part that he said about that. I feel like he is reaching to the youth, and I feel like that is a positive thing. What you think about that?
Yeah, no, like I said, he's definitely been an inspiration. The MIT, he's right. Shoot, if they could step back and, you know, the state-funded stuff that they're telling the kids to do, the kids actually, like, started working on their own things and then using their own minds, it would be a great idea. But and he's always been an inspiration in that regard, you know what I'm saying, to certain people.
Okay. So what do you think about the what he says about, you want me to vote for my president based off my race and based off my religion now. Like, do you think, I feel like he's taking it personal who they want him to vote for, so he's just kind of being hard. You know, he's just being hard to deal with, so he's gonna battle you on it if he has some type of anything, kind of like, you know, he's not really thinking.
He's doing it to prove a point.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can do it because you said I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I feel like, there's something that he said in the David Letterman interview. He didn't vote.
Oh yeah.
You know, he didn't vote. So I mean, you know, he didn't even vote. He didn't. So it's like Letterman is like, well, why do you even have a voice? And he couldn't answer that. You know? The Sunday service, I don't know if you've seen it. I saw the one at Coachella. I caught that one, recorded it. So I listened to that shit a few times.
Mixed reviews, but I've heard good things about the Sunday service.
Sunday service is great.
Well, one thing I can say about the album, so Jesus King, I say I can understand the type of music it is. He is positive. It does sound good. So I mean, I guess you couldn't label it a gospel album because he is talking about positivity and he's talking about, you know, like religion and, you know, being on a better path. So I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that, you know, some churches are about music and music gets people going.
Right.
So that music is positive and, you know, so I definitely salute him for getting his fans to maybe focus more on things like that instead of talking about wild stuff, you know?
Right. I mean, it showed, and I guess coupled with the interviews, because I had listened to the album before I watched the Big Boy interview that he did. And in the interview, you kind of understood where he was coming from as a person to now he's expressing that growth through his music. But had I not done that before, you know, when I was listening to it, I kind of was like, you know, I was left unfulfilled a little bit because I was like, well, you know what I'm saying, are we now, you know, as a Kanye fan, like, are we now in the gospel land? Like, you know what I'm saying, you know, and that's not how my personal growth is set up right now. You know what I'm saying? And I can't full-heartedly go into that lane because that's not where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I felt detached from that when I first listened to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that I was.
Bad thing, you know?
It's probably, I mean, it depends. It's a great thing for, you know what I'm saying, you know, the spirituality and the religious aspect of it. As far as the cultural reception, it's not going to be the most, you know, it's not going to be the most accepting thing, you know what I'm saying? You talk about hip-hop and, you know, and Jesus is king, and he is, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, that's not what hip-hop has been. So they might not be as receptive to it, considering his status already, because they're already questioning him in his day-to-day, like, what the hell is Kanye up to? And now he drops a gospel album, so they're like, what the fuck is Kanye up to?
Of course, man. Hip Hop Standards is here for the people. It's here for the culture. It's here for everybody. So we need your opinion, man. Do you agree with me? You agree with him? Do you like some of the stuff he said?
Right.
Why don't you like Kanye? What's the problem you have with him? Is it the same problem we have? We don't know.
Hey, this is a polarizing one. You know what I'm saying? You're either gonna like Kanye, like I said, or you're gonna hate him. So, you know, definitely take this time. You know, leave your comments. We can talk about it, read them, discuss it. We would love that feedback.
We need some comments. I know he's ready to go with something.
No, I don't even be doing that, bro. Because the thing about it is, you know, that's his personal situation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't his mouthpiece, and people, you know what I'm saying? People be trying to hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, but you know, that's
but definitely, man. Let us know with your comments. Let us know what you thinking, man. It's for us, man.
Yeah, hip hop standards for sure.
Hip hop standards.